All right, so we're still going to do quadratic formula with this one, but now what we'll end up getting is imaginary zeros. So same idea, start it out like you normally would. You're going to set it equal to 0, identify A, B, and C, and once you do that, you start evaluating. So x is going to equal opposite of b, so that's going to become positive 10 plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c. All that is going to be divided by 2 times a. Right? So we're going to go ahead and evaluate. We're going to see what our discriminant value is. Now, our discriminant value ends up becoming a negative 12. That means we do not have any real zeros. There are no x-intercepts. We're not crossing the x-axis. We can still go ahead and solve this. We can still evaluate. Just because we get to this point doesn't mean we can't continue with the problem. So that's what we're going to work on next. All right. Now, over here, we're going to go ahead and change. I don't want to keep this as a negative square root of 12. So we got to change that square root of negative 12 to something that we can actually work with. And we're going to change that to I square root of 12. So we learned in class that if there's a negative underneath the square root, put an I in front of it, you're separating the negative, the imaginary part, with the real part. So the imaginary part is the square root of negative 1, the real part is the square root of 12. Now once we do that, we can actually go ahead and start working with this. So I'm going to rewrite my problem right now, 10 plus or minus I square root of 12 over 8. We need to simplify the square root of 12. I'll break it up. 4 and 3. 4 gets broken up as 2 and 2. Remember, I'm crossing out the 12 and the 3 because we broke those numbers up. 2 times 3 is actually going to get me 12. I got a pair of 2's that's coming outside, so now the square root of 12 is getting rewritten as 2 square root of 3. All right, so now let's rewrite our answer right now. 10 plus or minus. Remember, there is an I in front of the square root, so I'm bringing a 2. I have an I in front of it. I've got 2i now outside of the square root, so it's 2i root 3. All that's divided by 8. I'm going to circle everything that is outside of the square root. I want to simplify this as best as possible. I know that I can divide 10, 2, and 8. I can divide all three of those numbers by 2, so I will. 10 divided by 2 gets me 5. 2i divided by 2 gets me I. And then 8 divided by 2 gets me 4. So my final answer is 5 plus or minus I square root of 3 all over 4.